The average American eats 286 eggs a year, so that means there are a lot of us eating a lot of eggs. Those of us who raise chickens obviously eat a lot of eggs, but so does everybody else, apparently. There are so many different ways to cook eggs. They're a great protein source. They include every vitamin and nutrient we need except for vitamin C. So today, I thought it would be fun to go through some of the more common ways to prepare eggs and give you some tricks and tips for making them even better. Scrambled eggs are probably the easiest way to make eggs and likely the first way that you learned how to make eggs. I know when I'm lazy and I don't feel like going to the trouble of making an omelet, I'll just scramble up a couple eggs because it is super quick. You don't need to add anything to your eggs. If you're using super fresh eggs, there's a lot of moisture in them. Eggs lose moisture as they age. So if you're using really fresh eggs, you don't need to add any milk or cream or water to them. If you're using eggs that are a little older, you might want to add something for a little bit of extra moisture so your eggs don't end up dry. Because eggs cook so quickly, you want to get your eggs in your bowl and whisked before you even put them in the pan. If you put them into the pan and then try to whisk them up, you're going to end up with some threads of egg white that cooked before you had a chance to whisk it. So I got my 2 eggs, and the more you whisk them, the more air is going to be in them, and the lighter and fluffier your scrambled eggs will be. So I like to do at least 20-30 seconds of good scrambling before I add my eggs to the pan. Okay, my eggs are whisked, so now I'm gonna get some butter in my pan. You can use any kind of oil. You can use olive oil, coconut oil. You can use a combination of butter and oil. You can use bacon grease. Even if I'm using a nonstick pan, I still like to add a little bit of butter. I just like the flavor and the richness that it adds to my eggs. You don't need a lot. Now my butter is already bubbling, so I'm going to add my eggs. Scrambled eggs are personal preference. Some people like large curds, some people like small curds. The more you move them around, the smaller your curds are going to be. You don't want to salt your eggs until after you've put them on the plate. If you add salt before you cook your eggs, it's going to draw some of the moisture out of the eggs. Your eggs will be runny. And it also messes with the protein bonds, and it's going to make the eggs kind of soft and mushy instead of having some nice structure. You want to take your scrambled eggs off of the heat when they're still glossy like this and look a little bit wet, because they will cook a little more even after you put them on the plate. Those look great, and now I can add whatever seasonings, salt, pepper, herbs, spices, whatever you want to add to your eggs. And there's a beautiful plate of scrambled eggs.